Hi guys, welcome back. This is Hugh with prolificbreed again. I think last Saturday, Chris Roma was doing a live stream. He was sharing all of his shrimp tanks, and he has a major, like 2 kitty tubs in his crawl space, and he was breeding PRL shrimp out of those 2 kitty tubs. I'll link the video here to show you what he's doing, but in the live stream he mentioned that he had a couple more of his PRLs for sale, and if anyone wants them, hit him up. And that's exactly what I did. I hit him up on Facebook either on Saturday or Sunday, and on Monday he shipped them off, and they're here 3 days later at my house. So I'm doing an unboxing on the PRL shrimp. On the last video I put together the fluval edge and preparing it for this shipment. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, because I think Chris Roma said that he doesn't plan on selling any of his shrimp until he has like multiple colonies going, and I guess he did that. But here is his shipment. He put in this cellulose insulation, so it's gonna be a little messy. Let me dig in here and get it out. Turn off the camera. So here's the bag. He shipped it in a breather bag with a pinch of subwassertang, and they're pretty small. They're little peewees, and I knew that they were peewees because he was upfront about it in the chats. He sent me pictures of how big they were, and I accepted. I bought 10 of them, and everyone looks alive. I'm going to get them in a little container and I'll drip acclimate them into my tank, but I want to pull the TDS and everything to make sure my parameters are similar to his. I don't know if you guys can see that, but these are the PRL shrimp. They look, to me they look like the CRS shrimp, but this is the pure red line. I was told that pure red line did not mix with a golden bee or any other shrimp, so the line is pure, and the white should be solid. So it's red and white, kind of like a candy cane, and for PRLs the whites should be very, very solid. They're looking really healthy and active. Everyone's kind of clinging on to the subwassertang. I'm gonna get these guys out. Okay, I got the guys out, and this is how they're looking. They're swimming around the bowl. I put them in a glass bowl so I can see them top down, and I got my TDS meter. I measured the water that the shrimps came in, and Chris's water is around 105 TDS, and the water that I mixed in my tank is at 109, so we're within range. I was kind of concerned, and I thought about putting my water at 150, but I held back, and good thing I did, because Chris is running his TDS near the 100s. If you guys don't know what TDS is, it stands for total dissolved solids. It's this meter right here. TDS easy. People with Caridina shrimp and even Neocaridina shrimp, they use it to measure the total dissolved solids in the water, and you can use the meter to determine how dirty your water is and when to do water changes. But there is a range that people try to aim for the Caridina shrimp, and it's around, I think, 100 to 150. So me being at 109 seems within range, and it's not a wide swing where it would make the shrimps adapt harshly, I guess. But yeah, I feel like everything is in line and ready to go for me. The only thing is that this was kind of a spur at the moment buy. Usually with shrimp, I want to let the tank kind of season and let algae build up, so as soon as I release these guys in, they'll have a bunch of algae to munch on. This tank is brand new, and that's because it's a spur of the moment buy. Like Chris mentioned that he was selling, and I was jumping on that, so I had to rush this weekend to clean up my tank and get it all ready. And it's a good thing that I had the substrate and the mineral mix ready, because I was itching to get back into Caridina shrimp. If you guys didn't know, I had Caridina shrimps in crystal red and crystal black before, and it was all filled up on my fluval spec rack, but I had a hard lesson there where my colonies died because of overfeeding and not learning about water changes and how to do it. With these guys, they're very sensitive, so some people just drip in their water changes, and I probably shocked them when I was doing mine. But yeah, these guys are PRLs. It stands for pure red lines. They're similar to crystal shrimp, but from my understanding is that crystal red shrimp, it's possible that they bred with snow whites or golden bees to get the whites in them. They're with pure red line, I mean they're a pure line, I guess, so they weren't interbred with any other white shrimps to get that white striping. And with pure red lines, I was told that their whites are more solid, so hopefully these guys come out stunning when they grow up. But so far it looks like Chris gave me a lot of good high grade shrimps. If you guys don't know about shrimp grading, there's an easy chart out there online. I'll put it in right here so you can see. So what people look for is the color and how solid the color is, but besides color they also look for patterning. And I guess S grade has a lot of white in them and like a little red towards the head. I'm not all too familiar with it, but the chart is easy to read. It's just pictures demonstrating what grade is what, and I got a pretty good mix in here. So I recommend going to Chris Roma. I know he's trying to start up his shrimp business, but he's similar to me in that we're trying to grow out our colonies. And I heard him mention once in his video where that before he sells any shrimps, he wants multiple colonies of the breed before he starts selling. And it was a surprise that he was selling his PRLs, so I guess he got multiple colonies once he started his kiddie pool of PRLs, which I thought was awesome. He put 2 kiddie pools in his crawl space, so he's making use of that empty space. And I think the kiddie pools are like 80 gallons. So 2 80-something gallon pools in the crawl space, and I guess they went his pure red lines just threw out a bunch of babies because he's offering to sell them. And I jumped on it because he said that he had limited quantities left. So I was watching the stream, and once he mentioned that he was selling, right after the stream I contacted him through Facebook and sent him my money, like, take my money please, because I want your PRLs. And I was itching to get back into Caridina shrimp because I had the substrate ready, but I had a lot of projects. So thank you, Chris, for jump starting my Caridina project. So I'm hoping these guys would grow out, be successful, and kind of breed and keep my own colony of PRLs. Alright guys, I'm going to move them over, and I'm going to skip the whole drip acclimation process. It's just using that tool that I built to siphon up planaria. It has a little nozzle on it at the end, and you can dial that nozzle down to 1 drip a second, and I just let it drip for a couple of hours, and in between I'll pour out the water and let the new water drip in so they get acclimated, and once I feel that they're ready, I put them into the tank. But once I put them into the tank, I think these guys are so small that it's going to be very hard to spot them, so it's possible that I'll do a video too for you guys to show you the growth. I knew I said that I was gonna skip this whole drip acclimation process, but I realized that some of you guys are new to shrimping, and I feel like this is very beneficial because no one told me this in the beginning, and I probably like shocked a bunch of my shrimp because of it, because some people treat it like fish where they just plop and drop and put them in put the bags in the tank and let the temperature acclimate and just plop them in afterwards. But with shrimp, my very first batch, I got them into a bowl like this, and you can every 5 minutes take a little spoonful of water and put it into the bowl for up to an hour or so. But this tool is so easy to make that why wouldn't you? Because it's just an air valve right here where you can adjust the flow of the water. So you start a siphon, you stick this into the tank. I'm gonna stick it in. I made a new one today, so you stick in the hose, and then you gotta suck on this end to start this siphon right here. And what I do is this nozzle right here, you dial it down to 1 drop a second, and you just let it slowly drip in and acclimate so the shrimp don't get shocked or anything like that. They're very sensitive to swings. We know that the TDS is similar, but I didn't test for pH or anything like that. And by drip acclimating in the water like this with the shrimp, it just eases everything and ensures better survival rate. So I just released the PRLs into the tank, and everyone's kind of moving about and exploring the tank. Very rare right now that I catch them just chilling where I can get a macro shot. But I did some Googling to get the definition of a pure red line. It's pretty much a highly selectively bred crystal red shrimp that will never produce a golden breed offspring and will never produce a different color other than red and white. So I'll put a link to the first hit that Google gave me at Aquarium Creation. They have the definition, and they have pictures and examples of a PRL. I can pull it in to this video. So here's a PRL what they're defining as a PRL and what a CRS shrimp looks like. But yeah, these guys are so active in here, I can't really zoom in or like do a macro shot on them, because as soon as I focus on them, they're like on the move already. See, he's gone. I'm just gonna zoom out so you can see what they're up to. You can see them all swimming around. It's pretty cool. If you guys haven't tried shrimping yet, I suggest trying with whatever shrimp is a match for your water. So if your water is high in pH, go with the Neocaridina. If you have low in pH water, like soft acidic water, go with the Caridina shrimp. Here's a view from up top. Since I just set up everything, there's micro bubbles coming from the substrate, and it's sticking to the top of the glass, but over time that should go away. But this is an example of the top views that you get with this tank. I could view from 3 sides and look at the top down. Once everything clears up, it should be way better. But with a regular tank, you rarely get this crystal clear top view because of the water movement. But with the glass up there, everything is looking super clear. They're just really active right now, just swimming all around, and it's very hard for me to get a shot of them. Once they're in frame and I'm focused, they're already on the move and somewhere else. I'll be sure to do future updates on this tank and how it's doing. Thank you for supporting, and I'll catch you guys later.